The new Guild Wars 2 patch may not have the biggest amount of content, but it does have an insane amount of changes, some of them making old content so much more rewarding and interesting to do that, well, it creates a lot of incentives to actually play the game. So in this video we're gonna go through all of them. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this, go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support my content, go to my Twitch to watch me live, and let's get into it. This entire patch is just filled with changes that interact with each other to make the new endgame of making gold way more different and way better, in my opinion, as it interacts with everything in the game, but also the main expansion that honestly wasn't very rewarding, and there was not a lot of reasons to go into it in the first place. The main reason why this entire patch works so well for new rewards is a new legendary, because this new legendary, in order to make it, you require so many items for everywhere, and the parts that actually didn't reward you something to make this legendary now do with these changes. For example, this legendary requires Amalgamated Rift Essences, so Rift Essences from Secrecy Obscure and also Janthe Wilds. These are now heavily incentivized to be done in Janthe Wilds, and Secrecy Obscure gives you way more. And how do they do it? Specifically, Secrecy Obscure implemented a new system that usually use in other types and other maps, the reward tracks from Corteria. You can see them that if you do anything in any of these maps and you don't, hey, you already have levels, you're gonna start progressing through this reward track that will give you very specific items, very specific rewards. Now in Secrecy Obscure you have the same thing. You can see here, if you go to Amnitas, if you go to Skywatch, if you go to Inaneos, they all give you the same rewards. They will give you currency, right, as you can see here, of that specific map. They will give you experience as well. That will essentially give you more reward tracks, and all the events and metas now give you more experience as well. And they will give you Fine Rift Essence that you can use to make your new legendary. Of course, you can use it for something else, like the Obsidian Legendary Armor, or you can transform it in the Gar Wizard Tower vendor right here to transform into gold. But hey, they obviously are pointing you towards a, hey, you're not going to waste your time by doing Secrets of the Obscure stuff. You will still be progressing. They also changed Riftly Weeks in Lowland Shore and Janthe Sentry, now additionally awarding 2 renown tokens for the associated map. That's super good, as now it incentivizes you to do rifts as well from this expansion to make your legendary, but you will be rewarded by getting renowned tokens that you can use for your hearts. And obviously, they also went in and made these hearts way more profitable. The new renowned chests give you way more rewards now. So these 2 little hearts that will give you more progress will give you way more gold and way more progress towards your next legendary. You can see it right here. Before, it would only give you the piece of unidentified gear, the Janthe gearbox, and the Temple Lake of Karma. It also give you Ursus Oblige, but it would give you very little. Now it gives you 75, which is very nice, and you will need this for your legendary. And now you also will be able to get Charred Saturn Ore, Honeyflower, Lowland Pine Log, Rotten Titan Amber, and all these items are needed for your legendary, as you can see right here at the top. Right? So this is going to be way worth getting as well. You also will require to get these very specific currencies that you get from doing these hearts to make the legendary as well, for the Gift of Ursus, and of course also for your precursor here in the bottom, if you were going for one more, and it's not the first legendary you're making, right? Because you're gonna have to replace this item specifically. So making this legendary, you're gonna want to do those hearts ideally every day. So the gameplay loop is gonna be way different. Now you actually do want to make your hearts every day on this expansion, and because of the renowned tokens and how many different ways you actually have to get them, it's not gonna feel as repetitive as it usually would. And I'm gonna make a video very soon on how you can actually make your hearts the fastest and less annoying as you can. Another thing they did to incentivize you to actually do more content, specifically to get your essences as well, is the old convergences. Of course, the new convergences are already pretty rewarding. I think they are for sure. The new ones, as they are pretty fast, and honestly, they're just kind of fun. And they give you a good amount of stuff. They give you a lot of essences from different types of repeatable achievements, but also the old ones that honestly were a bit out of date in terms of rewards, specifically because you have the CMs, and the CMs not only are expensive to actually open, but they also are pretty hard. So if you fail them, it's very difficult to justify doing them. And the main problem as well is that whenever you can actually choose which boss to take in the convergences, you always pick the easiest one, right? But with this new change, you actually don't do this, because you get a new weekly called Weekly Challenge Mode Convergences, and you're gonna see that you're gonna need to do one every week from each of the bosses, even Umbral. But if you do so, you'll get some very, very good rewards. Not only you will be getting pieces of identified gear, which are always good, but you're also going to get a magnified convergence extraction on your 3rd and 5th actual success. That gives you 2 gold, karma, and a chance of a very, very big amount of rewards. First, you can get more runes of holding, and then even more runes of holding, and then you can start getting some insane rewards that only can be purchased from, gotten from very specific parts of the game, from the Quaddle, from Triple Trouble, from Drakkar, from Dragonfall, and for Frost from Dragonstorm, right? These ones are from the strikes, and this one is for the convergence themselves. These items are very hard to get, very, very low chance, and they look pretty cool, as you can see right here. They're very, very awesome, very, very prestigious items. And at the end, if you're really lucky, you can get an infusion, and these infusions are insanely expensive. Thousands and thousands of gold. So, hey, doing this every week, you get 2 chances of this, is something you want to be doing. And I'm very, very happy that they actually are incentivizing you to do this. And hopefully weekly 5 CMs is going to come back to the game. I'm probably going to be doing this myself. So definitely go to my Discord to follow all the events we're doing and how we're going to restructure the guild in this regard. Also, if you actually fail the CMs, don't worry. We are getting more rewards for in between the bosses through certain thresholds. They will reward you with other stuff as well. So there's no reason not to try it now. The next thing that the legendary really changed was, and this may be the biggest and most important one, is the Amalgamated gemstone. As you can see here, the Amalgamated gemstone is very used in everything in this legendary. You require to get your Memory of Bearskins hunts to get very, very specific achievements. And those achievements will be very good because not only they will incentivize you to do content in Enchanted Wilds, like the convergences and the new raid, but also you need to do 6 world bosses or metas in the entire game. So you're gonna want to be going into the old world and doing some content there as well, which I think is super, super cool. The entire world is super popular because of this, but also the Amalgamated gemstones in themselves being part of this will make those prices of the Amalgamated gemstones going up insanely high, and of course making everything in the game, because everything gives you Amalgamated gemstones in the old game, very worth doing. You're gonna need this for this, the Amalgamated gemstones. You're gonna need them for this very specific items on the bottom as well, and then they will also need them for, and this one is the hardest one and the most important one, for the 100 shards of Lowland Shore and 100 shards of Genther Sentry. These items specifically you can only get 7 per week. So these Amalgamated gemstones are going to be super, super important to get, as you will need them to trade them for these items. That being said, you can indeed pay 3 times the amount to make it in unlimited. So instead of 1 Amalgamated gemstone per 1 shard, you're going to want 3 Amalgamated gemstones per 1 shard. So this means that this is going to be super expensive, and the Amalgamated gemstones have indeed gotten way, 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 way more expensive, and they're going to continue to go up, or at the very least stay where they are at while time passes. So over 1 gold right now seems to be the new old Mystic coin in some ways, I guess. But of course this is great because all of the metas from Heart of Thorns, from Path of Fire, from EOD, they all give you Amalgamated gemstones. So, well, guess what? Doing all these metas is super profitable right now. And not only that, now they also give you a very specific decoration that you can use for your homestead that now is going for a good amount of gold as well. So these hero choice chests are so good right now. These new hero choice chests are so profitable. And you can choose what to get depending on what you want, whether you want to make your legendary, whether you want to make gold, or you want to get your homestead decorated. Whichever you want, there's always a possibility. So the new meta train, is gonna be super good in terms of gold. And I'm very happy that they're going through this way and making everything around the game very much worth doing. Before, the game loop in this game, at least in COD, was to do metas to get gold, do metas to get currencies and materials to make legendaries, specifically Gen 3s, make those, sell them, and that's how you make gold. But obviously, after a while, after so many years, this has been very boring to do over and over and over again. This new legendary coming out and being tradable makes it so much more fun to actually, go through the game, as you have another version, another choice of going to make gold. You can still do the easy one, still gonna be worth making Gen 3s, but this will make it so you actually have something else, something new to do. And I think that's absolutely great. And everything goes together, as when you're doing your EOD stuff, you'll be progressing through your EOD legendary, and also at the same time, in some ways, progressing through your Janther Wilds legendary. So everything in the game right now is very much together to make a very good gameplay loop to make gold and have fun. Everything in the game is going to be very, 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 very worth doing and very profitable, which makes the game super rewarding and fun, I think. But there you go. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me if this is impactful. Tell me if you don't think it's impactful, and tell me if it's not gonna be enough, considering the fact that we really didn't get that much, only a Convergence and a raid, and they're all the same bosses. But I'm gonna talk about that in the next video, of course. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support my content. Go to my Twitch to watch me live, and see you guys around. Love you all. Bye bye.